afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one and only master of propaganda, of your top 1v1 own. You guessed it is Twin Beaches. In the north stands Maison, Kitsune. I have no idea how to pronounce that first part, at least here. Fighting over the German army, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 90th Panzerwaffe, showing with Italian support here, straight to Italian combined arms, and Bersaglieri alongside the Kitsune. In the south, we find Nostalgia 93, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here with the 1st Armoured Division, straight into an armoured pick here with both veteran crews and the fast deploy. Very popular with some players, that means you can get out a Jeep very fast, and you can get to Veterancy 1, obviously, immediately. So that provides you with some fairly handy benefits. So we're off here to the races, though. Both sides going for some mildly motorized starts with Jeeps and bikes rolling out. Scouts, engineers setting out here versus Bersaglieri and Panzerwaffe. So this should be an exciting opening here. Grab the victory point here. We can see that the Germans are focusing hard north. As always, by the way, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters for their generous continued support. And a big thanks to Iron Fist for donating and supporting Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. Big thanks to Iron Fist. And of course, all my Patreon supporters. So that little message out of the way here. We got a bit of a light duel here between the Jeep and the bike. But the Jeep definitely has some edges there over the bike. So the bike, of course, is forced to withdraw here. Heading elsewhere, up north here, Bersaglieri rushing forward here, catching here. Nostalgia Scouts in a bit of an awkward spot here. We got a rifle in there for Nostalgia. As Maison, Kitsune moves forward with their bike. Very light skirmishing here. Southern fuel here by the beach point has been short. Meanwhile, the landing fuel point is also being seized here by the Americans. So pretty aggressive, just overall tactic and strategy there from the American. Definitely not when you see, at least the way he's executing too often. I mean, Jeeps that are fairly popular, sort of big Jeep rushes. You might even occasionally encounter players who go for double Jeep rushes. So, Bersaglieri here covering the carve point here towards the fuel on the hill. Nostalgia, though, of course, like any good American, is not about to let anyone else hold the field. He, of course, rushes his men forwards. Like any good American commander. Bersaglieri, they overcome and are forced to withdraw here in the face of the American all-star advance. In the south here, the duel and tug-of-war here between the bike and the Jeep continues. We do have more Bersaglieri out here, though, for Maison Kitsune. Grab the field point here on the hill. Jeep being spotted here, flanked here. A few shots from the Carcano bolt-action rifle pierces the side of the Jeep. Causing, I imagine, the crew to feel a bit discomforted. There you go. On the field point here with the bike, and victory point there with the Bersaglieri. Second last on the way there for Nostalgia, and we got a fairly fast light support coming in from Maison Kitsune. Interesting build order with only 2 Bersaglieri squads from Maison Kitsune there. North here, Panzerwaffe being flanked by the Jeep, going in aggressively here. Nostalgia does not slow down. Panzerwaffe here versus the Jeep, shots being exchanged here. Another reason the Jeep is so powerful in part is because you can just pull out of combat then self-repair, so any damage really ends up not mattering too much. Engineers occupying one of the houses here by the beachfront, but are being surrounded by Italian troops here up north, though. Nostalgia pouring in everything he has except all of his cruelty and malice and pushes back the Panzerwaffe. Far south here, bike pushes on to the beach munitions point, and the engineers here are being slowly whittled down here with the Bersaglieri surrounding them quite aggressively. From the light support company, we get assault grenadiers. So that is a pretty aggressive assault grenadier push here by Maison Kitsune. Thumbs up to that. I do like the assault grenadiers myself. So seeing them in action, I find, is always a delight. Third rival squad there for Nostalgia 93. Of course, I have to see what Nostalgia's next move will be. Recovery vehicles? Probably not, but that would be a bit amusing.
Roger that. Mechanized research initiative.
There we got the assault guns out here with the MP40s, Maschinenpistolen 40, and I believe we actually heard, yeah, it's a mechanized support center for Nostalgia. Extra interesting here, going armor and mechanized at the same time. Clearly, I would imagine Nostalgia then is planning here for a more armor and vehicular focused strategy here versus Maison Kitsune. So that is an interesting choice here. Rapid pursuit here, but the assault grenadiers represented to the bike here. The assault grenadiers keep up the pursuit here with MP40s. the Maschinenpistole 40. The main submachine gun of the German army, though they would use a variety of submachine guns, in part because they couldn't produce enough MP40s. So in particular, German troops would be quite keen on just picking up whatever they get their hands on. On the Western Front, that would particularly be the Sten gun that was quite popular with German troops, partly because, again, they get their hands on them in large numbers, it used German ammunition, and had the magazine towards the side, so it was easy to fire from a prone position. The Eastern Front, that would be the PPS-841, and to a lesser degree, the PPS-43. So, anyways, large engagement here, though, heating up here around the fountain. By the beach properties here, Assault Grenadiers, Berzieri, Panzerpionier, Classmates Rifle, and of course the Jeep, which gets out of there. Assault is closing in here with the MP40s. Ripping through the GIs, they were definitely not equipped for that. Looks to be possible ambulance here. Yes, indeed, an ambulance for Maison Kitsune. Let us pop over to their point of view.
We have vehicles available in reserve.
We'll have to see what it goes for. I mean, they do have this, yes, maybe it's the boats, maybe it's the secure location. I'm honestly not entirely sure what their game plan here is. It's a bit of an unusual opening here from the DAK players to some degree. We got Panzerjägers out as well now. Obviously concerned about the fast Greyhound, which is typically why a lot of DAK players will usually always go for the Panzerjäger mechanized group as the first unit. That way they're kind of always secured against like any light vehicle action. Straight to mind here, Panzerpionier taking several losses. Friedrich Heinz dead there, their feet blown clean off in the south. Jeep around the point here by the beaches. And another main push here though from Nostalgia. The soldiers with the smoke grenade on the cuff point there. Does get outflanked, but I like the idea here. Basically mean that if the opponent were to push up certain shop here, but that position heavy cover, this smoke would mean they couldn't actually fire at the assault grenadiers. So thumbs up there. Nice use of the smoke grenade in the south. We do have the Panzers going for their Jeep. And down goes their Jeep. You did it, Helmut! We took out an American Jeep! Yeah, isn't this a bit overkill? The Americans, they just deserve to die. Oh, yeah, silly me. North here. Back securing the point here. Troops sitting out. Still not much in terms of battle groups here from Maison Kitsune. Got the Greyhound out. Here's, of course, good thing that Maison Kitsune, of course, had the Panzerjäger Gruppe. Quickly drives into the 250 traffic. Got mines going off here in the center. A lot of mines here by from Maison Kitsune. Thumbs up. Smart move there by the commander of the 4th Panzer Grenadier Company of the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division. There's a Yeti rushing northwards, backed up with the Panzerpionier, clashing with American infantry. Shots being exchanged quite actively, and Greyhound joining in the fun as well, of course, immediately Veterans 1, thanks to that armoured battle group choice. There we go, sending in here the 250 after the Americans. Decent shot there from the anti-tank rifle of the Panzerwaffe, piercing through the frontal armour and giving the drive then absolutely close shave. Hey Bob, I think you dropped something. Oh, that's my ear. Ew. Quickly popping out of the ground here, gonna pursue the Greyhound on foot. Are they planning like a Semoventa here? Like a legitimate Semoventa rush? You also got the mechanized company up here. Or is it like even like a M1340 rush? I don't know, but like I would say both possibilities are incredibly interesting. If those are what's being like considered here by Maison Kitsune. But we will probably find out soon enough. We got the assault grenadiers heading again here. Beach property once more in the south being threatened by American incursions. Up north, the Greyhound still moving about here. Honestly, a bit risky considering how little health there's on Nostalgia's Greyhound. Like a good Panzerjäger group there rushing in after it could destroy it. So I feel like this is Nostalgia pushing his luck an awful lot here. I mean, if it works out, great. But I'd say the chances of this not working out for Nostalgia are much higher than the chance of them working out. At which point they're going to have, like, lost the Greyhound with not much to show for it. Thankfully, that does not happen here. He's definite win there for Nostalgia. They're mostly against themselves. Back here, nothing further happening yet there for Maison Kitsune. Still not much happening there battle group wise either. Interesting choices there still. Busy up here by the fuel point on the hill are in deep trouble. Need to retreat them. We've got an Armoured here though for Maison Kitsune and the 90th Panzergrenadier Division. Back to Nostalgia, who is going for, well, who knows what. Greyhound there, the rank to the Panzerjägers finally getting exposed here and hunted down. Good chance here of the Germans wrecking the Greyhound, leaving nothing but a flaming hulk here on the beaches. Little health left here, but so on this one, the 250 half-track, so he may not be able to pursue easily. Which does prove to be a small help there for Nostalgia. Well, we got the M31 recovery vehicle there. And we got the Chaffee on the way, we got the Armoured out there. Don't think we'll expect the M31, though it would be interesting. Note that the M31 is actually based off the M3 Lee. North here, though, a lot of repairs here going on. We got a Marder on the way now here for Maison Kitsune. Armoured coming up for catching the raft quarter. We got BARs up as well there for Nostalgia. No major surprise. That, of course, that is a really good upgrade. Got the M24 Chaffee tank out here for freedom, democracy, liberty, and will certainly be a significant headache here towards the Armoured. Rather than there being surrounded, we got the Breeders now unlocked here for Maison Kitsune's Bersaglieri. And we got the M24 Chaffee rushing in here. We got the flanking speed ability unlocked. Nice pick there. But now we got the Mard out to support Maison Kitsune and the 90th Panzergrenadier Division.
Improved vehicle production is in. All vehicles are now cheaper to produce.
Typically, Marders were organized into either a Panzergrenadier divisions or Panzer divisions, Panzerjäger Abteilung, or, you know, in their own independent tank destroyer units. This is the one they've been most about used, you know, in basically, you know, those smaller Panzerjäger Abteilungs for Panzer divisions and Panzergrenadier divisions primarily. South here, we're grinding up against the assault grenadiers. Charging the engineers into the assault grenadiers was definitely not, I think, an optimal move here for Nostalgia's engineers. One with general assaults and them bleeding out a lot. Panzerjägers moving up, Marder moving as well here. Greyhound there rushing straight for the entire German gun line. And the assaults are as predictable as they are painful here for the Greyhound. Little health left here. High chance of getting knocked out here. And there we go. Pop goes the Weasel. A fireball here on the beaches. Excellent kill there for Maison Kitsune. We got another Chaffee on the way there for Nostalgia, even as it would appear we're getting another mod as well here for Maison Kitsune. So, looks like we might be heading into another light vehicular heavy battle here. North here, Kitsune as the rifleman.
The enemy is moving on our strategic point.
Marder moving forwards. That's double Marder. We got the Armoured here pursuing the scouts, forcing them to withdraw back towards the base. Second Chaffee has arrived. First one, of course, being repaired. And using flanking speed here to close the distance between it and the Armoured here. Looking to score a quick kill here on Maison Kitsune. We got the double Marders nearby here. And it could prove here that Nostalgia may have gotten a bit too eager here versus the Germans. Much too eager. Panzerjägers moving forward as well here. Chaffee suddenly finding herself deep behind enemy lines, isolated, and very much hunted prey here by a good portion of the German army. Could, of course, try and swing this through the enemy base, which is probably his best bet right now, and in fact that's going to do, yeah, and there we go. Maison Kitsune realized what was going to happen, and actually, you know, very smartly pops a smoke grenade, so Nostalgia doesn't get, like, any chance to, like, shoot at the ambulance here. 2 thumbs up there. That was strangely beautiful. So quickly this game here through the enemy base. Marching with the center anti-tank elements down there for Nostalgia here. And the 1st Armoured Division, 2nd Rifle Company. Got the Marder falling back. We got the Armoured more on the way here for Maison Kitsune. And we got a War Machine. Going straight for that one. It's definitely not something you see too often here, but it's an interesting pick nonetheless. North here, west here, we got the Bersaglieri, there's the rifleman, and we got them Chaffee there as well. Armoured nearby. Bersaglieri, though, of course, utterly outgunned, overwhelmed by the sheer number of Americans, heavily equipped to the teeth here. forcing here Maison Kitsune to abandon somewhat here. Those keeping around some Bersieri there just for the hell of it. Mana's being moved forwards here. Being shot a bit by the riflemen. Actually, the scouts. And back to Maison Kitsune, who's got a significant fleet of vehicles here. It looks like here we got the chaffing up the flank here. Down goes the bike. Snipes off a few hits as well there on the Achtrap. We've got the Martyrs there. And Nostalgia, of course, having done his bit, they just quickly withdraws. Obviously, been great if killed more, but even just destroying a bike there does slow down a bit. Maison Kitsune, of course, also sends a message. Not a big message, but, you know, it's a message nonetheless. Of course, we'll need to fix up the chaffee there a bit. So what will happen next here? There's definitely some interesting decision on both sides. We got Might something there, Nostalgia across the main road here. Thumbs up. Chaffee's swinging southwards. Of course, still one to repair one of them. We got Panzerjägers, Bersieri, Achtards, 250 half-tacks. Martyrs hanging back with service here. Clearly, again, the threat of those Chaffies starting appearing on the flank, I think, is causing Maison Kitsune to be much more conservative with the Martyrs, because Maison here, of course, does not wish to risk something like the Chaffies appearing behind the Martyrs, like, you know, going hard in there with flanking speed, at which point, if they were to appear like that, or seek and destroy, the Martyrs would rapidly get this, you know, turn into, like, scrap metal. So we can sort of see, like, the way the Chaffies, like, you know, really swift, well, you know, light tanks that are going to do a fair amount of damage, like, you know, mid to light armor and, you know, Martyrs, definitely creates, like, you know, some uncertainty here from Maison Kitsune, and forces them to definitely at times be a bit more conservative than they necessarily would like to be, because the threat of the Chaffies just suddenly rushing in from an angle they're not ready for really, like, you know, limits to some extent what they can do. Also, victory points wise, we've got a nice lead here so far for the Americans over the Germans. We do get an anti-tank shot here, going quite far down the out the Achtrap. Mines going off in the center. Panzerjäger suffering intense losses. Reinhold and Reinhard all dead. Meanwhile, both Chaffies are in dire need repairs. Northeast here, the ambulance is being rushed in. I feel like this is probably a misclick here, like just try to rapidly click here and then the ambulance get caught up. It does happen from time to time. Trick here is just order the handbrake to be enabled. That way it won't move and you get captured by accident. Yeah, that is a bit annoying. I mean, it could also be there's actually more legitimate, like, move here with the ambulance. It's possible, but, you know, I figure I might as well just mention in case, like, you know, any of the viewers are having issues with that, just pop the handbrake. Solves a lot of things. Not much here further, though, from Maison Kitsune. Do see a bit of rationing by the side of the field. We got smoke again, using the smoke to just buy some time with the assault guns. We've got Texas assault here popped. Overall, very nice ability, though I do question if this was the right thing to pop here. I'm guessing that was a misclick here with the assault grenades. And another anti-tank in there for Nostalgia.
The capture point is being taken from us.
So, got anti-tank and Chaffee watching on the main road here.
We are losing grasp of a fuel point.
Beach once more, seeing a lot of activity as the Americans are trudging through it. That's reaching right past the ambulance, which is looking just a bit haunted there. Bit of quiet here. Still not much further from the battle groups.
We must reconnect with them.
Chaffee rolling forwards.
Territory sector lost.
Better than nothing. New recruits are here.
New recruits are here. And we got smoke shells. Oh my. We actually rarely see, like, American players make a lot of use of these, you know, mechanized support center abilities. That's actually quite neat to see. And certainly the smoke shells, I think, are pretty handy to have. I mean, they're good to have as the DAK. They're good to, like, having the other stuff. So obviously it's a pretty nice upgrade to have as the Americans eventually. Even then, it's, like, very rare to actually see them go for it. So thumbs up here to Nostalgia. Looks like here we're going to see some heavy fun here for the beaches as Maison Kitsune moves up here for head-on assault here. No attempt to flank around through here, by the way, or there, just straight on up-front violence. Like a 1980s action movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. Chaffee's there hanging back here, blasting into the advancing Americans, and to take the front to the side here of the Marder tank. So Panzer Pioneer being shredded. Almost getting like get grenade assaults here. Ralph Squad here narrowly avoids getting exterminated there by the assault grenades. Assault grenades close to being wiped out here. So close there, but narrowly managed to avoid it. Chaffee's moving forwards here, crashing through the beaches. And an MU-34 is being prepared here for Maison Kitsune in response, of course, to all this American aggression as the beaches become all American.
We've dropped the enemy.
Meanwhile, more riflemen at this stage here for Nostalgia is an interesting pick. We also probably got Seek and Destroy there.
Territory from us.
It's only made a good ability to have like just a lot of tanks and vehicles. 5 riflemen strikes me as a bit odd, like particularly with all the fuel they could just push for tanks instead.
Riflemen taking the field.
Last, again, we got, improvised armor, we got smoke shells, and I guess eventually the similar conversion, so I'm not entirely sure why Nostalgia here would commit to a 5th rifle squad. I'm not necessarily just saying it's bad, by the way. I mean, 5 rifle squads with BARs is really, really good, but I feel like if you're going, armor and mechanized, you're not looking to commit that heavily to infantry, but then again, maybe Nostalgia's here to prove me wrong. But a part of me would definitely think he'd, want to push for tanks sooner, particularly since he did go for improvised armor amongst other things. Which does increase the armor, but even the health a bit of the tanks, and also decreases damage taken from Panzerwaffe.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
So, I mean, improvised armor is a pretty good upgrade. It's also in the smoke, and it only gives a fair bit of survivability for your armor. We got the Arclight being caught by the Chaffies, there you go. Double flanking speed here, goes in half of Freedom Democracy. Isn't quite able to catch up here. Very lucky there though for Maison Kitsune. Route got wiped out, so yeah, that didn't last too long though. Double Lancers are catching the Marder. Oh, good chance of knocking out on the Marder. That's gonna hurt Maison Kitsune, and the 19th Panzer going to shoot quite a bit. There you go, Marder kaput. And I think that 250 half tank is about to get scrapped as well. That is 2 immediate losses here for the Germans in a matter of moments, and only 1 rifle squad to show for it, though that is still pretty good. Back reinforcement healing, and we got the tank up here for Nostalgia. Definitely, I think, a very solid idea, considering again, the investment into the mechanized support center so far. Cap is rolling ahead here. Catching the Arcanards here, but clearly a bit hesitant here and disengages with the Chaffies once more, rather than go for, some actual kills there, but also avoiding the potential of, in return, Maison Kitsune scores any Chaffee kills. South side here, German advancing for the beaches. We got the assault grenadiers here with BARs, and they actually have 2, I think they got 2 BARs on those assault grenadiers.
Check the line. Capture point under attack.
Helmut, what? When he calls these things a bar, I was kind of expecting, something a bit more chocolatey. Ah, actually.
Claimed by the enemy.
Another ambulance there from us on Kitsune. Chaffee's need repairs, and we do note there's actually an engineer squad lost. Maybe definitely want to replace that. Of course, that's it. They can pull back towards the base and have the mechanized supports and enact some repairs. That is very slow at it. There you go, tank depot complete. Can get out some fairly cheap Shermans there. 270 manpower, 90 fuel. And fuel-wise, it's obviously a bit more expensive than, say, a Panzer III, but manpower-wise, it does mean you get your, Shermans up cheaper than a Panzer III. Hell, it's cheaper than a Stug at that cost. Fuel-wise, though, definitely not. But still, there's a pretty big advantage to get a war machine there. So it's quite interesting to see someone actually, going for, war machine here as, the first sort of, end thing here on the battle group choices there. Anti-tanks to the corner, bad spot here. Those swarm with the Arclights here. Good push. That's it. 1 Arclight goes down. 1 anti-tank crew goes down. That's on Kitsune push forward. Team sees the anti-tank, turn them against Nostalgia here, which would definitely be less great. But now, things are turning rather awkward here, though. That's on Kitsune as Nostalgia moves in with a great flank here from the north, using the anti-tank here on the hill as well. In fact, that's a total of 3 anti-tank guns, which seems a bit excessive, but I'll wait. Marder's being knocked out here. Chaffee down. There's still the Sherman though. Interesting enough, no special ammunition lit up. No smoke being deployed either here to save the Chaffee maybe. Martyrs again, just everything's exploding here. So many vehicles, so many light tanks just bursting into flames here as ammunition load-offs are just being cooked off here. Loadouts. German forts here. And even guard, seek, and destroy. Brutal. But clearly, Maison Kitsune was not expecting triple anti-tank guns. I mean, admittedly, most players never will because most players just stick to 2. End up being quite intense on both sides. All Martyr's gone. All Chaffee's gone. One Arctic down and anti-tank crew's being cleared out left and right. That said, of course, Maison Kitsune was quick to replace losses. In part because they probably outwent for pack of steel, which of course makes the Martyrs well cheaper. Got the MG here on this side, the lighthouse. Covering down here. Actually quite a bit of range to that machine gun. I was not expecting it. That's as good as that was. Interesting. Anyways, up north here, Marty here, flanked up with the rifle force to withdraw, but that could drive it straight into the jaws here of the Sherman. And of course, we've got a second Sherman out here. Of course, both veterans who won. Enforcing healing. Being pursued here by the assault gun of the Bessieri. All of action here. We got 130 supported for 9. I mean, the Germans are really behind the Vector points now, and they definitely, I think, need to, like, you know, ratchet up the pressure on the Americans. Meanwhile, Shums roaring about here. 50 cars being added. German engaging the Bessieri. Marder moving up, slowly but surely. And there you go. Good shot there for the side armor. Yeah, we do have tungsten combination here, by the way, for Maison Kitsune. Also veterans ward leaders and vehicle survival package. Interesting to see all 3 upgraded. And you might say, well, he doesn't have any Panzer Grenadiers, so why would he go for it? Because even if the other units also, like, you know, gain experience faster, but also become harder to hit, so it's like, you know, generally a good upgrade to have if you got like a fair amount of infantry, like Maison Kitsune, but it's just most players only go for it for the Panzer Grenadier buff, so thumbs up here to Maison Kitsune. Tactical assault here, we got poured on, I think, here from Nostalgia returned here. In the center there, more engagements here. We got ace level Panzerjägers here from Maison Kitsune. South Germans engaging the lighthouse. Lights out, bub. You're so cool, Sarge. Can it, Carl? And we need to probably retreat that machine gun there in the lighthouse. These assault grenadiers probably also be withdrawn before they get exterminated. Lighthouse there. Finally evacuated there. Pushing on to the beaches here with a mix of infantry, but lacking any serious anti-tank support does become difficult for Maison Kitsune. We got another Marder on the way. Quite a bit of fuel being floated. At this point, a part of me is expecting could be like to end up seeing something like Armoured reserves here. That would be interesting. Probably not, though. Nothing further here, though, for Nostalgia as of yet. Join to the line of fire, the Panzerjägers here. Wait, they actually do no deflection damage for that improvised armor added. Be interesting if that was the case as well. It was just imagining things there, but it really looked like they did no damage, because typically all anti-tank rifles, for some reason, they decide to give deflection damage to them, meaning like even if they fail to penetrate, they still do some damage. It's honestly something I definitely disagree with. Rather than being pushed back with the afterguard. Setting out. Marder there, being slowly repaired. Back of base repairs going on there for the Shermans.
Proximity alarm near our capture point.
So we got engineers out there for Nostalgia. Anti-tank's been positioned up on the hill here. Good Overwatch position, obviously. And back to Nostalgia.
Our opponent has fallen to 200 points.
Interesting enough, while he has researched the smoke launchers, so far he has not utilised them at all. It does feel like a bit of an oversight. It's not exactly like, you know, just a free upgrade.
Our victory point.
Assault pushing forwards. Rather than about to get wiped out.
Anti-tank crew killed.
And a wipe. That's quite painful here for Nostalgia. That's another rifle wipe being just with 3 squads now here. Assault is closing in. Near ace. In fact, they achieved the ace level, though that said, I think it's better now to retreat here. These soldiers before they get wiped out by all the battle rifle and Achterards Martyrs moving forward. See, we've got the Shermans on the move here, and they've actually been upgraded here with the 76mm guns, which seems, at least at the current time, a bit overkill, as it only increases the penetration. And it's not like Nostalgia needs extra penetration against Martyrs and Achterards. I mean, it looks really cool, though. No argument here, but I don't think it's necessary. Anti-tanks lead out their strafing run here from Maison Kitsune. Thumbs up to that. Got a Marder there with a blown out engine. Like a base, we do get the Panzer commander from Maison Kitsune, so likely Panzer thieves, but could surprise us with armored reserves. Could surprise us. And now, yeah, we got the EC8 there, of course, unlocked as well, so could always begin calling in EC8s here versus Maison Kitsune. German sitting out. Engaging the machinery gewehr there, forcing it back. Almost getting wiped there. Also got 1 Sherman of HE2.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Heading for the northern point there. Bit of quant here as both sides are lining up for the next big push.
Now under enemy control.
Next big push. Lots of reinforcement healing up, plus of course repairs being enacted by Maison Kitsune and the 90th Panzer Grenadier Division. Fun fact, though, with the 76mm version of the Sherman, it's actually not particularly well liked by its crews, because the thing to keep in mind is, while it definitely had better armor penetrating capabilities, when it comes to tanks, not just there to shoot at tanks, but there to shoot at infantry, which is typically dug in. There you actually prefer high explosive shells. And the thing is, you know, while it did increase the penetration, the higher velocity actually meant there's less room for high explosives, because you need a thicker, shall say, shell cape or whatever. It's like, you know, protect against like the sheer stress that get put on the shells. So while it's great for, like, you know, knocking out tanks, it is less great for shooting infantry. And so it meant that the 76mm version of the Sherman was generally less popular, because they did prefer the 75mm Sherman with its just better high explosive shells. Fun fact, the Hellcat here, by the way, for Nostalgia. He's being murdered here, though. Forced to retreat here. We did actually see the smoke that being used, though. Thumbs up. Now we got the Hellcat out. Also have to see which abilities picked here.
One of our munitions points is being neutralized.
Got white phosphorus on both Shermans. Lining up here to attack, I think, through the beach property, flanking the jet American position, rushing at the M1s here. Martyrs firing at the Shermans, need to disengage here, or should have popped the smoke for rushing. Got a strafe run here on the anti-tank guns, clearing out the crews. Excellent push here. Sherman's about to get knocked out, and down it goes. Martyrs wreaking havoc here on Nostalgia's armored forces. Hellcat rushing forwards. That's it. The Bessieri are easy targets down here for the Sherman. Good shot there. Hellcat rushing forwards here. Should want to pop flanking speed. There we go. Looking to race past the Martyrs, but yeah, too late. Definitely where some smoke would have been very helpful here for Nostalgia. Very helpful. And with the anti-tank crews cleared out here, this is looking pretty rough here for the Americans. Got the Martyr moving up. Sherman's firing away here. Forced away. But the assault grenadiers are taking an absolute pasting here from the Sherman. Anti-tank there is about to get wiped out. And that'll be the 3rd anti-tank crew wiped out. Nostalgia's taking heavy infantry losses, down to just 2 squads of infantry now. Looking pretty rough here for the American player at this stage. Looking pretty rough. And pretty uncomfortable. Sherman is halfway to the ace level. And looks like he's about to losing one of his remaining squads to do get an anti-tank grenadier off on the... Oh, that's a grenade. Oh dear. Going back here, nothing further there for the Germans. Got the Marders on the move here, Panzerjäger supporting.
Finished and ready.
Another Sherman out here from Nostalgia. We're not seeing any attempt at the Sherman Comet Group. And the other Sherman goes down. Another great kill here from Maison Kitsune.
It's theirs now.
Another great kill, and one that really puts the American player in a really uncomfortable spot. Setting about destroying the anti-tank guns there.
We have 300 points. Confirmed.
300 points left. Less than that, really. 50 cows being out to the Sherman.
Territory is falling into enemy hands.
So, the beaches would appear to fall to the German army and the 90th Panzergrenadier after a fairly vigorous assault.
Securing our capture point.
So, what will Nostalgia be doing next here? But be popping over to Maison Kitsune.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
Of course, it is steadily moving forward. Got mines going off here up north, I believe. Yep, Rifle heading on in the Schützenmine.
A victory point is being
And we
taken
actually
from
got
us.
the armored reserves now, about to be finished. Fuel-wise, I mean, not far away from, say, a Tiger tank.
Attention,
Manpower-wise,
Tiger
it's
heavy
obviously
tank
going to be a
enemy
bit longer to get there, but at the same time, there's certainly the argument now that a Tiger tank could very well
capture point is
just
being
put the final word on this match. So it's not an entirely terrible idea here by Maison Kitsune to try and go for a Tiger tank. Of course, could also just go for the Stuka Assault Group, or even just the Panzer IV Assault Group. Not recommend the Panzer III Assault Group. That one is just not cost efficient at all. The other two I think are pretty decent. Of course, the Tiger is pretty decent as well.
Enemy forces have claimed our sector.
So what will happen next? We got most of the map now very much German. I imagine here, though, that Nostalgia will, of course, be looking to stall by time. We got another Hellcat out here. Tiger tank slowly getting ready as well there. 112 versus 261. Almost halfway towards the Tiger in terms of manpower. Fuel-wise, obviously, Maison Kitsune has been there in a very, very long time. We got more Hellcats here, though, for Nostalgia. Achard engaging him. We got Panzerjäger caught out in the open here. There's Yeti at the east level. German flying away there. Got the Sherman being pushed back here. Marder shoots, misses. Rock Squad's close being wiped out here. Close call there for Nostalgia. Freedom, democracy, and liberty. Got those Hellcats on the move here. Maison Kitsune is a bit omen away here from the Tiger one.
Ready to go again.
It'll take a bit more though to get there. Still, are controlling the field quite well here. That said, again, this passiveness could open up for an opportunity here though for Nostalgia. If he like seizes upon what his opponent's up to, he could rush in from a certain angle and just start wrecking away, in particular with Search and Destroy. We got the Commander mode enabled here. An ability to see off neither.
Listen up, boys.
Reinforcing a bit here.
Reinforcements until commanded.
Yeah, realizing that, so
Panzerjäger.
probably just cancel that pretty quickly. There you go.
The enemy
End it away.
at 200 points.
Comes the Tiger one. Hellcat, Sherman, one Ralph Squad here. Both of them heading towards the beaches now.
Proximity alarm near our strategic point.
Two M18 Hellcat tank destroyers, Sherman forwards. Closing on that Tiger 1.
Neutralized by the enemy.
Gunning up, deploying smoke here against the machine gun. Thumbs up.
Our strategic point is strategic point lost.
There's Yeti attacking forwards here. Hellcat continues to swing up deeper. Like, if Nostalgia could, like, appear out of nowhere from an really unexpected angle, I mean, there's definitely a chance the Hellcat could do some serious damage to Maison Kitsune. But, of course, the question is, can Nostalgia achieve that level of, you know, tactical surprise here?
We have been granted a Tiger 1 commander.
There, go send for it. Tiger tank has been called in as well here, though. Marder down, we got the Panzerjäger flying away there.
Okay, it's planted. How's west on the line?
And back to Nostalgia.
200 points remaining on our
Got first strike there on one of them. German forwards. Marder getting ready to join in the fun as well here. Tiger tank going down the main road here. Found a fourth Schwerer Panzerabteilung. Second Schwerer Panzerkompanie. Good shot on the Marder. Marder goes down here. Panzer is flying away there at the Hellcat.
We've lost a squad of
Another Rifle Squad wiped out here. Quite a punishing blow there to Nostalgia. Got the MU-34 flying away there. Looks like they do deflection damage, which is eyes than fooling me. Anyways, Titan tanking forwards here. Hellcat that goes for deep flank here. Could try and go for seek and destroy here. I know he will, but Titan tank taking a few sneaky hits here from the Hellcat though, but not enough here to stop Maison Kitsune's mighty German army. German armor. Mighty German army. So Titan holding back here. An 88mm gun. We got Sherman's being repaired and Hellcats being repaired. I'm a bit surprised the lack of EC8s though here from Nostalgia. Targeting blasting away there. Possibly looking for mines. Targeting sailing forwards.
here are victory.
Got 114 on 12. Really looking rough here now though for Nostalgia. Pushed against the wall here by the German army. Maison Kitsune has managed to turn this to a likely chance of winning from an otherwise rough position.
Victory point.
Down to 112 still. Up north, the riflemen hitting more and more German mines. The lives ebbing out there. The north with the Hellcats. Sherman being fixed up. We got another Hellcat here though for Nostalgia. That's going to be triple Hellcats, which then combined with Seek and Destroy could possibly do like intense amounts of damage here to Maison Kitsune's armor. Possibly. 84 versus 112. Lining up the Hellcats here, total of 3 tank destroyers.
Only 75 points left for us. Here we go.
Feels like the calm before the storm, before something really goes off. We got the Sherman up here supporting Engineer Squad for the Southern Victory Point. Hellcats, their remaining reserve up north here, fighting continuously with grenades being chucked. Arctic moving up here. Engineers got that Southern Victory Point. We got 58 versus 112 here. Tiger tanks, machine gun flying away there. Gunner having a nice time. Sherman falling a bit back here. Now the Hellcats moving in here. There you go, Seek and Destroy. Nostalgia goes in for the kill here. And we can see there, Maison Kitsune realize what's going on, but it's a bit too late here. Hellcats going off a series of hits here. Almost hitting out the Marder already before getting far for a single shot. And there we go. A brutal alpha strike here from Nostalgia, leaving the Tiger now isolated against 3 Hellcat tank destroyers. And now the Sherman all boosted by Seek and Destroy. And the Tiger tank is practically melting. He does get one of the Hellcats, but overall, in a matter of seconds, Nostalgia has utterly reduced the remaining armored fleet here of the German Reich in their sector to scrap metal. Really highlighting just how powerful Seek and Destroy is when used correctly. It's pretty much just blitzkrieg, but for the Americans. Ammon's about to get knocked out here in the base this time around. Another blow there to Maison Kitsune. We got 53 versus 104. All victory points briefed, or at least most of them control the Americans, but goes in here for a base raid, even as Maison Kitsune ignores this, goes for the victory points, which honestly makes more sense seeing how few victory points there's left here for Nostalgia. We need to get back on the field here. Hellcats are remaining in base as Sushan's being sent here to the front line once more. A lack of infantry is going to make it difficult here for Nostalgia to get back those victory points. We've got machine guns and assault guns covering the southern victory point, and I believe Panzer Pioneer covering the northern one. There's a Yeti, and we got the Arctic being rushed northwards. Sherman hitting a mine here. It is another mine here. We got 33 versus 103. 30. Another mine goes off in the Sherman. Panzer is pursuing here. 21 in the southeast, sort of solved it. 18. 15. North of Hellcats keep wrecking the base, but it just does not matter. 9. 6. And there you go, GG game over. Sherman goes down with that. Maison Kitsune secures a win here against the Americans. A fierce fight here on Twin Beaches with some fierce back and forth action, some great seek and destroy pushes, but in the end, Nostalgia, I feel like suffered too many infantry losses, and in part I think was also too slow to push for that tank depot, and I think also didn't quite fully utilize these upgrades as well as he could have. Still an interesting fight here on Twin Beaches, so I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, tell your friends, tell your family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Team, cheers, and see you all tomorrow for the last episode. Bye everyone!